Hey guys, welcome back to Little Alchemist Helper. Not a pack review, something a little different, something I've been working on for way too long. Today we're going to go over basically all things grinding the player versus environment, the PvE section of the game, and those bosses and the minions and kind of what they can provide for you. Mostly the sole reason of playing that area is to get dust to upgrade your deck. And right at the beginning of the video, if all you want to know which NPC character is going to give you the most dust for your energy, so basically the more expensive the fight is taken into account as far as an energy cost, it's going to be right there. Elmira. Elmira is the best, followed by Bridget, Clyde, and Dr. Robo. That's all with greedy level 3. If you are just starting out and you don't have any of those mods, we can just look at unmodified and you'll see that it's still Elmira, Clyde, Bridget, Gem. You see Dr. Robo fell quite a bit, but Dr. Robo is still going to be your best pre-events boss to farm dust at. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably are wondering, what's some of the math behind that. But before I get into that, I'm going to scroll this full list. You can see that greedy pretty much outperforms everything else handily. There, for the first time, Clyde with the XP level 3 is the first non-greedy level 3 entry on the list, and then the next non-greedy level 3 is a greedy level 2. So if you're going to spend your arena rewards on something to get you more dust, greedy is by far, hands down, the best. But I'll keep scrolling. It's a pretty long list, and there is a link to this file in the description, and I'll no, I don't think I can link it actually on the video, but go check the description. There's another link to this file on our Discord, but we'll go through some of the math once we get to the bottom of this. You can see, like, I think there's Elmira, the first time a nun pops up, if I'm not mistaken. And so even at that, using any of the powers, because there's like lucky level 1 above that, and lucky's generally the worst for farming dust, is better than using nothing. So even though a lot of people have wondered that because you get reduced coin drops with lucky, if lucky is going to be better or worse than not using anything, lucky is better if that's one that you've already happened to have purchased. But we'll scroll all the way down. Like I said, it's a really long list. I'm just going to go to the bottom. So pretty much Stuart, Zug Zug, Pebbles, Flint, Chloe, they're going to pop up over and over way down here at the bottom. And that's nothing crazy surprising. But that's it. I think that's probably one of the most common questions I still see on the Discord, that doesn't have specifically to do with the limited time events. But I thought it would be fun to kind of go through the math and like how I actually got to these really long, drawn out decimal numbers of dust per energy. And I'll try and keep it brief, but thorough. So we'll start all the way over here. Apparently I have a modifier on, so I'll change this back to none. So the first thing that you need to do is determine how much dust you're going to get out of buying a booster pack from the shop. So that's these numbers right here. You have a 95% chance of getting a common card, a bronze one, a 4% chance of getting a silver one, and a 1% chance of getting a gold one. So you can turn that to 1 dust at a 95% rate, 3 dust at a 4% rate, and an 8 dust at a 1% rate, for a total of 1.15 dust per pack, or 0.023 dust per individual gold. That's an average. Obviously, as you play and collect gold, you're either going to fare a little bit better or a little bit worse. Just, it is what it is. The other thing to note is that at level 100, which this assumes, it costs 3,035 EXP to refill your energy. That's not going to make a huge difference, but when you refill your energy, you get 30 new energy, and so it's pretty much the only, knowing that is the only way you can calculate how big this XP boost is going to make on your dust farming. So once you kind of know those basic numbers, you can go into the game files and you can pull this for all of the characters. Each character has a card drop chance, so that means that when you beat this character, for Chloe here, it's an 80% chance to drop coins, and then the value 20 there is the chance that it drops a card. If Chloe does drop a card, it's an 83% to be bronze, 12% to be silver, 2% to be gold, 2% to be a gold upgrade boost, and a 1% chance to be the Chloe character card. Now, that being said, I did calculate you dusting those character cards. It's a really, really minuscule change in the numbers if you don't count it, but I did count that as a 1% chance at getting an 8 dust drop, because that's the value of dusting that character card. You also need to know how much experience each character drops. A funny thing happens is they cap the experience halfway through Transylvania with Bill in the Isles at 250, and they cap the gold at 75 with Paige in the research lab, and that corresponds with them capping the energy at 10 energy per battle, also, or in the elemental isles. So because none of those cap at the same point, you get some kind of weird matching numbers, and then oddly not matching numbers as you start going through the data. Once you know everything, just the percentages from the game, you can see how long it's going to take you to level up. Assuming you win every single fight, which this does, because putting a loss percentage in there just makes it way too complicated. You see that it ranges from 151 rounds to level up, all the way down. Let's see here. Cloud Kingdoms, he said 12. I thought there was lower than that. Maybe I'm crazy. Oh, that would make sense. Oh, because it's not taking into consideration energy. So if you know how many rounds it takes, and you know how much energy each round costs, you can see that it'd take you 728 energy to level up grinding Chloe. I don't advise it. Versus only 91 energy, which that's about a day's worth grinding any of these later bosses after that EXP boost is capped out, and you're maxed out at 10. And there's a little, see, it dips even lower through here where the energy cost is reduced, but you've already hit that hard experience cap. So 80 to 90 is kind of your best case scenario for number of energy to get that free extra 30 energy. And this also already assumes that extra 30 energy is included. So it's like if you leveled up, you took that free 30 energy how much more energy on top of that would it take? I wanted to clarify that. Sorry about that. So in this next section, we're kind of looking at the single battle rewards. We're not looking at this information and this block, this level of information. When I just point at my screen, it doesn't show you guys anything. This level of information and the single battle rewards information here, they're totally separate columns, or they're totally separate sections. So you can look at your average coin wins, because we know the amount of coins that we get and how often we get them. This coin boost will change if you use either the lucky or the greedy power. We'll cover that later. Dusted coins is just the amount of coins that you won times that multiplier that we can turn coins into dust. And then this card dust just looks at the average amount of dust you're going to get from, the probability of getting any card. And then the card boost, that's affected by lucky. And then this just adds your card dust plus your dusted coins to give you a nice round total dust per single battle. So if you're completely ignoring energy, obviously the better rewards are going to be the higher end ones, and it's the Dark Alchemist at the end of the game. He gives you just over 2 dust per battle, which that's not terrible, but we can do a lot better than that. So now to kind of tie it all together, you have this last column here, the level up per cycle. So you can figure out how much dust is going to be in a total level up cycle. So for Chloe, that's the 728 battles, and you get 158 dust. We know how much energy it took to do. I'm sorry, that wasn't 728 battles, 728 energy, but we know how much energy it took, and so it's just the dust divided by the energy that it took. Got really redundant there, sorry, but that is the most boiled down way of comparing apples to apples each of the individual characters, since each of them give a different drop rate, and on cards and coins and experience, you really have to boil it all the way down to how much dust is this going to average out. Now, a couple quick things to note. Greedy is going to give you a 20, a 40, or a 60% gold multiplier. Lucky is going to give you a 10, a 20, a 10, a 20, or a 30% card drop chance. And the experience multiplier is also going to be a 20, a 40, or a 60% experience. So if you want to apply those, there's just a drop down here. I think the weirdest one, so because lucky changes this value right here, this card drop chance, like these are just the static values, but what the actual power in the game does is it boosts this number. You actually have to reduce the coins that you earn because you're going to be getting them less frequently. So 77% is just the inverse of 130%. I know that's going to probably get me a lot of questions as people start going through this. But anyway, I made this, guys, for you, so if you want to download the file, be sure to check it out. If you want to ask me questions, you can leave those in the comments or find me on the Discord channel. And I'll be sure to link that in the description as well. But that's all I have for you. Hopefully we'll have some more packs in the shop for you to review here soon. Until then, I'll see you later. Bye.